Every once in a while, I'll come across an entry that I create that is not in the timeline. There may have been an entry for it originally when it happened, but because of the older issues being stolen and me not getting back all of the pages, I don't know whether I recorded it before or not. But when I find something new, I'll always let you know that it's a new date and a new entry. I might try to see if I can get this to fit into the timeline in the playlist where it belongs, but I'm not sure I can make that happen. So for today, you just have a bonus episode. And this would have been, and here I'm guessing about the date. I know it was in 1996, but I'm just guessing on the month and year, or month and day. I put it in here at July 17, 1996. Dad starts working at the sanctuary. To you guys, my dad was Vernon Charles Stairs. I'm writing this from the future on February 20th, 2021, so I'm not sure of the day that my father came to work at the sanctuary, but I do know it was in 1996 and probably in the spring or summer because I'd been at Home Depot, my favorite place to shop, in the garden section and had been envying the new rubber ponds that were made to be put in gardens along with little waterfalls for effect. Mom was working at Gulf Controls, and Dad had recently closed up his furniture store on the corner of Rome and Waters Avenue. It was on the northeast corner of Rome and Waters. For years, he had been buying the seconds at Royal Creations and turning them into salable products. I know he was doing this as far back as 1980, because he had set me up with my own inventory and a box truck to set up displays on vacant gas station lots around town. I was hauling 90-pound bookcases and entertainment centers in and out of the truck right up until the time I went into labor with Jamie. As I write now, I don't remember why he closed the shop. It had been a pretty good business that he had run from flea markets and then the storefront from the traffic that I saw when I helped out. Every day he would carry the desks, end tables, and other merchandise out to the parking lot in front with huge signs you could easily read driving by. $15 for a desk, $45 for an entertainment center, and free delivery and setup at your home. He sold a lot, but maybe there just wasn't enough of these small ticket items to pay the rent. I don't know. At any rate, he was at home, and despite being able to fix anything from a broken toaster to an airplane engine, he had never fed himself. My mother always buttered his bread and waited on him hand and foot when it came to domestic issues. She called me one day and said, "You have to find something for your father to do. He's driving me crazy. He calls me at work every 2 minutes because he doesn't know how to operate the microwave to make popcorn, or he can't find the TV remote." I asked Dad to come out to the sanctuary and told him that I had seen these ponds at Home Depot and wondered if he could make a little outdoor garden area for one of the cats in the bingo barn. He loved working outside and always had a green thumb, so he was made for this kind of task. Back then, we had a 12-foot by 60-foot mobile home that we had converted into several indoor rooms for bingo cats, domestic cats, and hybrids. It was an eyesore, and the very first thing people saw to the right as they entered our front gate. In order for the cats to have some time out in the sunshine, I had already built a long, narrow row of cages at window level on the outside of the trailer with pet doors so the cats could go out onto their little catios or be inside in their rooms. These were only about 2 feet deep and 3 feet high, but ran the length of the trailer. I told Dad that I wanted to create an outdoor cage that ran the full 60 feet, but that would be about 15 feet deep and go all the way from the top of the windows to the ground. In that ground space, I wanted a waterfall and ponds and lots of landscaping so that it was a great place to be a cat. These cats were anywhere from 8 to 15 pounds each. And I don't say it here, but the reason I mention that is because later I would be quoted by one of the animal welfare organizations as having 8 tigers in this space. And it was 8 Bengal cats that were, 8 to 15 pounds each, not 300 to 500 pounds each. He leaped into the task, and at the beginning of the next day, he said, "What do you want me to do now?" I was shocked and delighted to see the transformation he had made for the first cat to have this huge space. So I said, how about a second pond? The next day, he had replicated the work for the second cat in line. The same thing happened for the third day. On the fourth day, when he said, what do you want me to do now? I said, I'd like to get all the big cats off concrete and onto the soft earth. I gave him the requirements for cage wire strength, minimum cage sizes, which we already exceeded by 4 to 10 times, and told him that other than that, he should just surprise me. He worked 6 days a week and was always out in the yard building cages when I woke up at 7:30 and was usually there until about 4 p.m. or so. He continued expanding the cat spaces, giving them more fun things to do, use, and explore until he died in 2016 on his 75th birthday. This image is perfection and persistence in front of the waterfall. The last renovation to the Bengal barn was a fabulous waterfall that covered the entire front of the mobile home. Dad made it from hand-mixing concrete, and it was the genesis for all of the pools and dens he would later build for all of the big cats. He would artistically mix colors into the concrete to make it as realistic looking as possible. This is perfection and persistence, the twin ocelots. Photographers loved this natural-looking environment, and we were able to charge a lot for photo tours because of the natural environments my father created for all the cats to live in.